Good evening. My name is Brad Doyle, and I'm going to be sharing a presentation with you, something I'm really excited about, something I think that you're going to be very excited about. You're on this call because you're either already involved and you're, getting your feet wet and learning, or you're a leader and you've got people that you've invited to the call, or you're out there and you're curious or you are interested, and somebody has invited you here to hear what it's all about. So that's what we're going to do for the next 30 minutes. Company's name is Zennoa, and you can't really go too far talking about Zennoa without talking about our founder, which is John Wadsworth. And John is often called the father of the superfoods. He was a young scientist back in the 70s and developed some of the superfoods out there, particularly the fruit called noni, and that became he developed the first beverage that was ever marketed throughout the world, and is considered really the father of that noni beverage. And John's just a super individual, father, grandfather, husband, brother, has a wonderful family, and just a superior person. And I know a lot of you on the call have a personal relationship with John, and as those who are getting involved are able to, you should take opportunities to meet John. We have one of those coming up in April in Utah, where we'll be doing a worldwide global launch, and you'll have an opportunity to spend some real quality time with John and his entire executive team. But Zennoa is the combination of a couple of words, Zen and Noah. And Zen, you probably are familiar with, an Asian word that is synonymous with peace and harmony and freedom and balance, where Noah is a Polynesian word actually for the word freedom. Okay, and so really the question becomes, and the reason why we named the company Zennoa is because our mission is to help you find yours, financially, socially, in your spiritual life, in your whole life. Where is that place that you feel where you're at peace and where you're at balance? That's your Zennoa. And so we're gonna talk a lot about Zennoa as we talk about this opportunity, because without knowing why, it really doesn't matter how. You show me somebody that knows how, and I'll show you somebody that has a job. You show me somebody that knows why, I'll show you the person who owns the business that hires that person who has a job. So if you would want to be a business owner, want to be a mover and a shaker, make an impact in the world, I think you've come to the right place here tonight. We're going to talk about that and how to do that. If you're typical, like most of us, you're going through the normal things that Americans today go through. Of course, we just went through an election season, and we heard all about the state of the economy and the state of the nation. And of course, there's record unemployment and people that are struggling with bills. I know I used to have a challenge where I would run out of money before I'd run out of the end of the month, and skate the last 5 days on mushroom soup over rice, or what I call Spanish rice. That's tomato soup over rice, and these things called ramen noodles. It wasn't that they were 5 for $1. I really liked them, okay? And if you believe that, I'll tell you something else. But there's record foreclosures. You've got people that are retiring only to go get jobs at McDonald's and at Starbucks. And you've got even the people that have the degrees. Of course, one of the big issues this past season was how do we solve the college debt challenge that's going on in America. I mean, people come out of college, even if you come out with a medical degree as a doctor, you may be saddled with $200,000 or $300,000 in debt. And it takes quite a few years to get that to go away. And we refer usually to this plan, as I call it, my 44-year plan. It's like go to school, go to college, get an education, go get a job, and work to the age 65, 44 years, and retire 2 months, 21 days later, or 2 years, 2 months, 21 days later, according to statistics. People pass on after they retire. So that's the great American dream, so to speak. But there doesn't have to be that way. It can be better than that. And one of the books I read that totally changed how I thought was a book called The Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. And some of you have probably heard Robert. He wrote a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, He's wrote lots of different books. As a matter of fact, he even partnered in a book with Donald Trump, our current president. So Robert's well known, and I became partners with Robert actually in publishing an online financial game. But in any case, in his book Cash Flow Quadrant, he talks about there are four places where money comes from. There's the E, the S, the B, and the I quadrants. The E quadrant stands for employee. And as you can read there, the challenge with being an employee is that we trade time for money. Anytime, no matter if we're high paid employees or lower paid employees, it still requires a time commitment, and there's a relative relationship between the amount of time we put in and the amount of money based on how much we're paid per hour or how much our service is worth per hour. And so if you trade time for money, you can't have both. You have some combination, because to have more money, you give up time. To have more time, you give up money. And so the employee quadrant might be where some of your income comes from. By the way, your income could come from all four of these quadrants, and that would be okay. The S quadrant stands for self-employed. These are professionals and small business owners. So an attorney, a dentist, a doctor, a chiropractor, a hardware store owner, a Starbucks franchisee. You're self-employed. The challenge with being self-employed oftentimes is it's no more than really owning a job. We get to call the shots. We get to decide when we work. As a matter of fact, I had a good friend of mine say that being a business owner allowed him to choose the 80 hours a week that he gets to work. And and generally, if you're self-employed, you're the first one there, last one to go. If somebody doesn't get paid in payroll that week, it's usually the owner. They usually are taking all the risks. And then when they do make it and do start to have it pay off, they have employees that are a little bit jealous of that because they weren't there when you opened the store every day yourself and worked everything yourself and did all the books and did all the stocking of shelves and put up every dime that you had and mortgaged your house. They weren't there in the early days when you risk everything you had. They only see the fruits of your labor, and sometimes that's difficult for them to understand because they've never been in that position. So 95% of our people in our country are either in the E and the S quadrants. Interestingly enough, 95% of the population owns about 5% of the nation's wealth. The other 5% are in the B and the I quadrants, and they, on contrast, own 95% of the nation's wealth. The B quadrant stands for business owner. There's a dramatic difference between a business owner and self-employed in that a business owner person builds their business with a system that becomes an asset that doesn't require their personal involvement on a day-to-day basis. It's a system that works. Franchises are systems that work. If you're the franchisee, you're part of an employee, self-employed person. But if you own the franchise and you are in franchisees, you sell franchises and you're the franchisor, then you have a B business. It doesn't require that you flip all the hamburgers or fry all the chicken or whatever the franchise is. So business owner is where we want to get to, from the E and the S quadrants into the B quadrant. Okay, and we're going to talk a lot about how to do that. Ultimately, though, we want to be in the I quadrant. That's the investor. That's once you've accumulated assets and that you have liquid and solid assets that give you returns, whether it's real estate or stocks and bonds and annuities and dividends, and or any other way that you have income coming off of an asset. That's an investor quadrant, and that's the ultimate quadrant to be in because it requires basically nothing on your part except an oversight. And so the idea tonight is to show you how, through our business, through Zennoa, you can become a business owner and come from the E and the S quadrants to derive a partial part of your income from the B quadrant and then increase that to the point where you can decide whether you want to still have income in the E's and the S quadrants. Maybe you love doing what you're doing and you do it for free. Well, it'd be really great to get in a position to be able to do that. Now, we're going to talk about a couple of different programs. One of the most popular programs out there is called a limited referral program. And you see the companies like Uber and Netflix and DirecTV. As a matter of fact, I was talking to somebody today and they'd never heard of Airbnb. I said, it's kind of like Uber for hotel rooms, and Dropbox, and there are others. Okay, but these are one-layer referrals. In other words, you get discounts and credits and rewards and trips but you only get it for the first level of referrals. So for example, if I tell somebody about Uber by giving them my 6-digit number, they sign up for Uber, they get a $10 discount on their first trip in an Uber taxi. I get a $10 credit towards my next trip. Okay, but that's it. If they tell somebody else, then it's between them and that other person who gets the credit and who gets the discount, but I don't get anything. So there's only one layer away from me where I get a benefit. Now, this is a powerful model. Gilt.com in 6 years got $1 billion in sales and 6 million customers. So it's a very powerful model, like a social retail model. Now, there's a better model, though, what we call unlimited referral program, because it takes it past that first level of referrals. So it says that if I give my number, my coupon to somebody like Kitty, and she gets a discount on a product, and I get a credit, I get a commission. And then if she tells another person who wants to be a customer, she gets a credit and they get a discount, but they're part of my business and I get a commission. And if that person told somebody who told somebody who told somebody, they all get discounts and credits, but I get commissions on all of them. That's what we call an unlimited referral program. And then that can be, each layer can accumulate and pay you up to 25% in a retail bonus. Okay, so we're really excited about the unlimited referral program. The other part of our concept that's very unique that we're so excited about is called building the pipeline, or the pipeline bonus. Here's the concept. If you register or enroll as an affiliate tonight, everybody who ever enrolls as an affiliate anywhere in the world from tonight on becomes part of your pipeline. They go right underneath you. The next one goes underneath them, and underneath them, and it keeps rolling down, and it just keeps rolling down, and then it rolls down, and it rolls down. If it goes to Australia, it goes to New Zealand, it goes to Japan, it goes to Europe, it goes everywhere. All of that volume is in your pipeline, and you get credit for that volume, and you have an opportunity to earn commissions from 18 different pools that are created from that volume. So you share in 1 to 18 of those pools, depending on your qualification. And we'll talk about how do you qualify for those pools. But how would you like to get a piece basically out of every affiliate's volume that onboards after you based on your level of activity? So it's not a freebie. You don't just join and get it. There's some activity you got to do to get it, but it's extremely rewarding, especially long-term as this becomes a 10 million, 100 million, $1 billion a year company. And John Wadsworth and his partners have created companies in the past just like that, and they're going to do it again, in my opinion. Okay, so that's the pipeline. Now, you got to have a product, and we've got a couple of products right now. Our flagship product, the one we opened up with first, is called Core Care. And Core Care is a combination of essential fatty acids. And so that's omega-3s, 5, 6, 7, and 9. And there's a variety of ways that we get these ingredients. We have what's called an MSC certification, Certified Sustainable Seafood. Means the ingredients that we use are certified. As a matter of fact, we get our cod from Norway, and they literally process the cod on the boats before they ever get back to the dock to extract the cod oil. Okay, so it's of the highest quality and efficacy. Now, we get our omega-7s from the Himalayas, a thing called sea buckthorn, and it's the greatest source of omega-7s, natural source. Omega-5s come from the pomegranate seed oil. Omegas 3, 6, and 9 come from cranberry seed oil. And, well, that's the Core Care product. And that product really is about your cell membrane. It's about keeping your cells healthy, so being healthy at a cellular level. And that's really important because your cells replace themselves every 7 years. You become a whole new person. And so literally millions and millions of cells are being replaced all the time. And good aging is when your new cells are as good or maybe even better than the cells that died off. And how do you do that? Well, you do that at a cellular level by making those cells healthier by feeding them what they need. Core Care is one of those things. SRQ was our second product, and that was developed by the scientists at the Japan Institute of Applied Biochemistry, world famous for their research. And what the SRQ does is it's a cognitive product that works on your brain. It's great for prevention of things like Alzheimer's and dementia. And it's not a cure. None of these are cures, but they're things that help put your body in the position to prevent these types of degenerative type diseases. Okay, and so nothing is going to be a cure, but if we can prolong something or prevent it altogether, that's a good idea. So SRQ has lots of benefits. Here are the ingredients. We have webinars that explain these done by scientists like Afa Palu. Dr. Palu goes through exactly what these ingredients are and why they're in there and what they do and how they help in supplementing or supporting the mitochondria, which is the energy package within your cell. And so the combination of these two products, the benefits are that the core care is going to work on your cell membranes. Healthy cells have ability to let nutrients in and get waste out. And then the SRQ works on the internal part, the mitochondria. It helps make your cells function properly and produce the kind of energy. So when you have that kind of energy, you have the right metabolism, and weight loss is not an issue. You get it to a natural weight. Your organs function properly. You get the right blood oxygen combinations, and things just work better. So Core Care and SRQ are our first two products for that exact reason. We have a new product coming out that some of you have heard about called Product N. That'll be announced here in April at our launch event in Provo, Utah on April 6, 7, and 8. You're going to want to be there. Now, there are 7 ways to earn income in our rewards plan, and I want to just go through them just real quickly. And there's a retail bonus, onboarding bonus, pipeline we talked about, Power Wave, team commissions, mentor bonus, and global pools. We're just going to talk about a few of them, and I'll encourage you to get back with whoever invited you to get more information as to all the different ways you earn income through this compensation plan. First thing is the unlimited referral program, and you can see we've already talked about it, but it's really a matter of letting people try the products, and then they want to tell people about it because they get results. Now I got to tell you, I have a rheumatoid arthritis, and I've been on the Core Care and the SRQ now for about 2 months, and I notice a total difference. I notice a lot less pain in my joints and a lot more mobility and less stiffness, especially in the morning when I wake up. And I attribute some of that to Core Care and SRQ because those are the types of things that they're designed to do. And of course, I have other medications that I take, but those things have dramatically improved my quality of life. And so I'm going to continue to take those. I take, as Dr. Palu told me, take 3 in the morning, 3 at night, and I take the Core Care, and I take 2 SRQs in the morning and 2 SRQs at night. As a matter of fact, I just had them a little bit before I got on the call here with my dinner. And so I'm going to continue to take that. But those are our products, and we'll continue to develop products like that, scientifically backed, researched products, quality products to bring really great nutritional elements to the world. That's our mission, is to help people find their Zennoa. Well, part of finding your Zennoa is having good health, because it's hard to be in peace and balance and in harmony if you don't feel well, and if you're suffering from chronic illness. And so that's a referral. The onboarding bonus is what happens in process of building an organization, of sharing this idea like we're doing tonight with other people. Well, each time someone comes on and onboards into this as an affiliate with a success pack, you earn $50. And every time someone in your organization brings someone on, they get $50, and you get $12.50, up to 5 levels. So 5 levels down. The person under you is level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, $12.50 all the way through there on each person. I'll show you an example here in a minute. The next is the pipeline sales bonus, which we talked about. And this is where a share of the global volume from the entire world is put into 18 pools. And based on the number of affiliates you personally enroll or personally onboard of that worldwide volume, after you earn a portion of those pools. And that will range from $5 a month up to $15,000 a month. So it becomes kind of small in the beginning, but can become massive over time, especially as the business grows all over the world. And this is a great time to be involved with Zennoa. The next is the power wave, 3x3x3. Now the way this works is that we call them waves. Wave one would be your level one. That'd be the level that's right under you. Wave one. Wave two would be the level underneath them. Wave three would be the third level away from you. And the way this works is if you have 3 people on your wave one, you earn in a power wave bonus $30, approximately. Then, and it depends on volume. It's a percentage of the volume, but it's about $30. If you have 9 people on wave two, and they don't have to be organized in any particular way. It doesn't have to be 3 who get 3. It could be one that has 1 and one that has 1, and the other one has the other 9 or the other 7. Okay, and so in any case on that wave though, if you have 9 total, you're going to earn approximately $300. Now wave 3 is when you have 27 on wave 3. Now, in order to get 27 on wave 3, you might get 6 on wave 1, just to put the odds in your favor. But if you have at least 3 on wave 1 and at least 9 on wave 2 and 27 on wave 3, you get an extra approximately $1,000 a month. Now, the question here is, what would you do with $1,000 extra a month? Because I doubt seriously anybody sat around thinking, boy, I really can't wait to start something where I can, go tell people about something, who tell people and get the wave 1 and wave 2 and wave 3 power bonus. I doubt anybody sat around thinking about how they can't wait to do that. But what we do think about is, what would $1,000 a month do? You take $1,000 a month and add it to something like, oh, I don't know, maybe nobody here has these, but I know there are some people that have credit card debt. Take $1,000 and add it to the smallest credit card. And then get it paid off. Then take that minimum balance you were paying on that one and put it on a second one with $1,000 till that's paid off, and keep doing it until all credit cards are paid off. And then you got $1,000 a month extra plus all the minimum payments you were making on those credit cards, and you could put that down on a car payment and pay off a car and get that to the point where you're not upside down in cars. So many people buy new cars, which is really not a real smart thing to do financially, no matter how wealthy you are. But it's a real luxury, because that depreciation in the first 2 years is incredible. But what it does to a lot of people, it puts them upside down in the car. The car isn't worth as much as they owe on it. And then they're stuck in it for 4 or 5 years. And what if you could get out from under that? Take this extra income and get out from under that. So you get your car paid for, you're out of credit card debt. Now you take the credit cards, minimum payments, you take the car payment amount plus your $1,000, and it's your current rent or mortgage payment. Where could you live? Maybe you just pay off the house you got. Maybe you like the house you got. You know that a 30-year mortgage gets paid off in 7 years by doubling the payment. So if you have a $1,200 a month house payment and you make a $2,400 a month payment, instead, your house is paid off in 7 years from zero. So you're probably already down the 30-year road. So it'd be even less time than that. So that's the power wave. That's a powerful bonus. Okay. Now, by leveraging the power wave past the wave 3, you can see in my right, on the side of the right, level 4, wave 4 would be approximately 2,000, double the income. Wave 5, 3,000. Wave 6, 6,000. 7, 15,000. What would $15,000 a month extra income look like in your household? I don't know, but I think there are people that are getting up every day at a time they don't want to get up, doing things they don't want to do for people they don't like. And for those people, $15,000 a month probably represents freedom. Freedom to smash their alarm clock, freedom to get up at the crack of noon if they want to, freedom to do the things they really want to do. Every once in a while I get people say, well, I wouldn't want to be that successful or have that kind of money because, you get bored. What would you do? You can only play so much golf, etc. But, it's interesting. Freedom is not freedom to do nothing. Financial freedom is freedom to do all the things that are really important to you in your life, like spending time with your family, with your children, or spending time with your parents while they're still here, spending time with people that are in need, spending time doing the things that you enjoy doing, that bring you pleasure and bring you your Zennoa. So I don't know what amount of money, maybe it's 40,000 a month that it takes for you to find your Zennoa, but I don't know what it is for you. I had a good friend that was very resistant about getting involved in this industry. He was an ear, nose, and throat surgeon, and his wife was a pediatric general practitioner. They had a nice lifestyle. They had a busy, busy lifestyle. They had young children, and they, had daycare and had nannies, and they had all the things on the outside that you'd think would be things that would make everybody happy. But when I shared this with the doctors, they got excited about the possibilities, and they didn't think in terms of, well, maybe not, but maybe so. What if it worked? And they got started, and they built and they built and they built. In a few years, he had learned so much about being an entrepreneur that he actually had an opportunity to purchase another business, and he did. And that business, applying these same principles, flourished. And he sold it in its fifth year for $85 million. And he sold his practice, she sold her practice. And today, because they're so bored, they fly their Cessna Citation jet down to Haiti once a quarter and do pro bono work for the poor children of Haiti. And that's what is his Zennoa. It's not to do nothing. It's to work harder than he's ever worked in his entire life, but to do it in a way. I had one lady say, well, yeah, but he has a Citation jet. Why doesn't he sell that? And just, he could feed the entire island with what it costs to do that. And, somebody asked him that once, and he asked the question, he said, do you own an automobile? And they said, yeah, of course. He says, well, why don't you sell your automobile and go feed people down at the mission in the inner city? And she said, well, I need that car to get around. He said, madam, the only difference between you and me is the size of our world. It's really the size of our thinking. How big can you think? Can you think even $40,000 a month in a residual income? Because see, what we've done is we've created a volume that's not dependent on you, and an income that comes off that volume based on your efforts to establish that network of volume. And once it's established, it tends to happen on a monthly basis. And then it creates a residual type income. All right, so that's why we call this a B quadrant income, because once established, it also not only passes on through a residual to you, regardless of what you do in the future, it will pass on through your estate to your heirs. So your children would inherit. It's kind of like the family farm of the 1800s, 1900s. It's the new version. It's called networking. Okay, so it's very exciting. Now, to get involved, I mentioned getting a success pack. That's 3 bottles of Core Care and 3 bottles of SRQ in your back office and your replicated site and all the things that you need to build your business. It's $299.95. You could also get a basic pack, which is 2 bottles of Core Care and 1 of SRQ for $179.95. Now there's benefits for the success pack, and one is the process of duplication. We recommend that. But if all you can do is the basic pack, get the basic pack. Okay? Now, on an overview, what happens if you get involved? That's you there, the little green guy, and you onboard 5 people. Or, I'm sorry, 4. You can't count. 4 people, and you get $50, as we said earlier, for everybody you personally onboard. So that would be $200, 50 times 4. And let's say they brought in 10. And so that simple example would be 10 times $1,250 or $125 plus your 200, $325, and you got your success pack back. Okay. You'd also receive the Power Wave bonus, which we've explained is $300 roughly per month. So not only you get your initial investment back, you're getting it back every single month. Now, if you know finances, that's 100% a month is 1,200% return on investment. Now, that's not bad for finding 4 people who go out and find 10. Okay, that's a pretty nice little annuity type income based on this little asset that you've created. Okay, and that's why, again, it's a B business. We talked about the pipeline bonus. Again, you go down, you see the bigger ones are the ones that you onboard, and the littler ones are the ones everybody else onboards. Of course, there'd be lots of them. There could be thousands or even millions of them over time that could create volume that will all add up and pay out in a pipeline bonus. Okay, so the Power Wave bonus, we said, with 3 you get 30, with 9 it's 300, and with Wave 3 with 27 it's 1,000. So the yellow guy represents a Power Wave 3 bonus recipient. So what if you could actually build an organization where you had 3 lines, and in each line you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Power Wave 3 recipients. 7 Wave 3s in 3 lines will produce around $15,000 a month. That's just that Power Wave bonus, and what we have a team commission that would be included in that, but it wouldn't include the power or the pipeline bonus. So the pipeline bonus could actually make that go up even substantially. Okay, so that gives you an idea. There's incredible income potential. Okay, now obviously it takes work, takes effort, takes some time. All right, but 5 years from now you're going to be 5 years older, and if you don't do something different, where are we going to be? Are we going to be really living our dreams? And I just put a little slide together here of different things that might be your Zennoa or your dream. Every once in a while it's kind of funny. I talk to people and they say, well, I'm just not materialistic. I'm not materialistic. And it's funny because to me materialism is when you love things and use people. And the opposite of that would be to use things and love people. And when you have things, it sure is a lot easier to not care so much about the thing. You ever met people that have a room that they have in their house they can't go in, and because mom won't let anybody go in that room, and sometimes they call it a living room, okay, which is kind of ironic. It's a sure sign when they have plastic on the couch. Or they have a new car and they park at Kitty Wampus 8 miles from the mall and make everybody walk because they're so afraid they're going to get a ding in it. I recommend you get a new car. Go ahead and put the new ding in it yourself. Go just take a ball pen hammer, go down next to the quarter panel and just go pow, put a little ding in it. Then it's over with. You don't have to worry about it anymore, and you can park right up close and let the car just be a thing that you use. And it's not the last car you're going to ever have. It's not the only car you're ever going to have. It's just a thing that you use to serve your needs and serve the people that you serve. Okay, and so think in terms of where could you be. And what would your life look like if you had your Zennoa? What time would you get up? What would you do all day? Who would you help? What projects are your fun projects, the things that really give you energy, really give you life, okay? And so I want you to be thinking about that. Ask yourself these questions. Are you better off today than you were at this time last year? Okay, a lot of times people say, well, someday. They're waiting for their ship to come in, but they haven't sent one out. You've got to make plans or you plan to fail. And so you got to start thinking, I got to do something different to get different results, right? Because will you be better off a year from now than you are today? Okay, so were you better off today than you were last year? And will you be better off a year from now than you are today? Well, if you don't change anything, the chances are the answer to both of those is no, okay? And so the question then becomes, do you have a plan to do something different? What do you got? Okay. And for most people, they don't really have many alternatives. Certainly nothing for under $300 that they're going to get help, because whoever invited you to the call is going to provide their time, their knowledge, and their experience. And they get paid when you get paid. If you don't get paid, they don't get paid. So they're pretty interested in you getting paid. And the sooner you get paid, I think they think, the better. And the more you get paid, I think also the better. So where are you going to get a deal like that? Okay, so really take a look at this. All right, if it's good tonight, it'll be good tomorrow night. But boy, I tell you what, with a pipeline, I wouldn't wait too long. Between the time we got on this call and the time we got off, I don't know how many people have onboarded, but I guarantee there have been some. Whether it's here or whether it's in Japan, where they're onboarding people all the time. Okay, so I've enjoyed being with you here tonight. I hope you got something out of it, and I hope that you make a decision to at least get more information and get your questions asked. So thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon.